does that idea resonate with you? I mean, that's why I started to talk about the nested dolls. That this picture, this graph kind of talks about, and what Jordan Peterson was talking about was the nested stories, and how, some of these stories are 30,000 years old. I mean, they can not document them, but they can show that they existed 30,000 years ago from some artifact. And so, the stories of the Bible, and he's talking about 6,500 hyperlinks across the Bible, where one verse refers to another verse. And so when you start to nest those things that way, well, of course it's the most popular book in the world, okay? Because it has something for everyone in it.
When I heard on the radio today, they were talking about the Coptic Christians who were killed.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know who the authorities were, but they were saying that Christianity in the Middle East is dying.
Well, because there are children who are not individuated, who are being told by people that are in the shadow that they should go and kill them, or whatever it is. I mean, they've been murdering them, and so a lot of them have gone away. But ultimately, that all has to homogenize. Okay, ultimately we have to be mixed. We ultimately, instead of saying, no, your religion is wrong, you can't do that, because all religions have an essence that's pretty much the same as all other religions. Okay. Pardon?
It just shows I don't understand religion.
Right. Yeah, because all religions, if you take Proverbs as example, which is stuff that we can accept even in the 21st century, even without thinking about it, okay, those same ideas are in the I Ching, and they're in the Quran, and they're in the Torah. Well, the Torah is the Bible, but they're in the Bhagavad Gita. They're everywhere. Okay, these same proverbs were adopted by human beings everywhere. And so instead of talking about how's your life, how's your religion different, and if you believe that, then I have to kill you, we have to start talking about how is your religion different? What can I learn from you? What does it have that you think is right that I don't know, or I never heard of, or whatever it is, right? Because if we took it that way, if we just reverse course, and instead of saying your religion is wrong, so everybody that believes in your religion has to die so that my religion can survive, because mine is right and yours is wrong. If instead of taking that approach, we take the approach of, what can we learn from one another? Oh my God! All of a sudden, the whole.
I don't want to learn from the devil.
Well, I mean, you can learn from the devil. I mean.
No, I'm just saying that's what people are saying. That whatever you say, it's not their religion. You're just speaking for the devil.
Well, and that's people who don't understand duality and don't understand shadow. And, that's one of the reasons. Right, that's one of the reasons that I'm doing these videos. Okay, go ahead.
I was trying to, we talked about individuation. My mind has been so far away I couldn't think of it. But, the male deals with shadow, then you deal with the animus, then you deal with, what comes after animus?
The male?
The animal, I'm sorry.
Well, deals with the warrior stage, then becomes a father, then becomes a wise man, or the opposite of all those things.
What comes after the animal?
Well, the anima is just the projection of the moment. So you would have
No, looking at it,
the wise woman would be
I'm at
the
10,000
most
feet
developed
right
Yeah,
form of anima.
that's right.
But anima goes through the whole life cycle.
Yeah, the anima is always there.
now. Yeah,
Psychological.
okay.
Right, what is the word in 628? Eidolon. Eidolon. Second sentence. He was the Eidolon of Satan, and only the younger son, Abel, was pleasing to God.
What was
Is that like
Where is
brother of Satan?
628.
I don't know. We have to. No, he's the ideal of Satan.
Eidolon.
Wow. He was Satan incarnate, I think is what he's saying.
What Jung is saying is that these stories, as they survived, human beings don't do things that don't work, right? I think that's a fundamental, that human beings don't continue to do things that don't work. So if we take the tarot, for example, the tarot works, okay? It doesn't work in a wooey-woo parapsychology kind of way. It's not magic. Tarot doesn't work for magic. Tarot works because there are archetypes, and because when a good tarot reader reads the word mother, let's say, it constellates in your mind all the experiences that you ever had with your mother, right? Or all mothers, your mother and then all mothers, and so on. So, I've often said that I could come into an auditorium with 1,000 people present, throw the cards across the floor without having any special layout, and simply go through them and read the cards as I saw them, and the reading that I would give would be profound for every single person, okay, as long as they gave it the benefit of the doubt. I mean, if somebody's going to go in and cross their arms and say, I'm not going to listen to the tarot, okay, I can't help those people. But I used to say when I did our tarot reading, and Bill's probably had these experiences, that it moves the furniture around in your psyche, right? And so what happens is you connect to the word mother that I say somewhere in the reading, and Bill connects to the word son that I say, and that's what you hear. And so in astrology, for example, people read the astrology columns, and maybe twice a year the astrology column will get their life bang on. Okay, those are the times that, say, people less educated people will say, oh yeah, the astrology is always right, because they're only remembering those 2 times, and they forget the times, the hundreds of times it wasn't exactly right? But in a tarot reading, if you get the first 21 cards, you're getting the major archetypes of human life, okay? And so if I throw the cards across the deck, I know that if 4 or 5 of the major arcana flip up, and I say something about that major arcana in the story that I'm telling in my tarot reading, because I'm telling a story in my tarot reading. Let's say I throw the cards across the floor and I say, I'm going to predict what will happen in the next week for everyone in this room. Okay, something like that. And then I simply go through and read it. I know that my words surrounding the 4 or 5 cards that are major arcana are going to connect with everybody in some way. Okay, and not only are they going to connect just as a word, but they're going to connect with huge texture to them. Like if I say the word mother, which is the Empress card, then everybody's got, a zillion connections with the word mother. Not only your personal mother, but, mothers you've read about, mothers you've experienced in all kinds of settings, right? And so everybody connects unconsciously with this word, right? And so I can say almost anything in the tarot reading, anything, and it will connect with everyone.
The cards help you tell the story too.
That's right.
You can always look back at the picture and go, and it'll trigger something else. You can
Exactly. But the point is that everybody is getting a different reading. Okay. Everybody hears something different.
personalize it.
Right. And so they think, okay, people that don't know how the tarot work will come to that reading and they'll say, holy shit, he was talking about me. Right? Because I was talking about every human being.
Picture works too.
That's right. But the point is, everybody hears a different tarot reading. Okay, in the tarot, everyone hears a different reading.
Well, I was actually fumbling around with it, and I just used 3 cards. The first time I did it was with a person who just lost her father, and she was very fond of her father, very attached to her father. And one of the cards that came up was the one that represented the father. I don't remember which one it was.
The Emperor card.
Yeah, and so I explained to her that she chose the cards, and she was just blown away by that. And so there's almost a cosmic psychic quality to it.
Well, there's a synchronicity. That's a synchronicity. Right.
Then the second one I did, the woman came up with the chaos card. Again, I don't remember which one. But I said, it's telling you to introduce chaos in your life. Well, she's an interior designer where every line has to be purple. Everything has to be structured.
Maybe it's telling her.
Telling
Well, I mean, I don't know what it's telling her,
Well,
but
she organizes her life that way. She has a very rigid structure to her life.
and maybe it's telling her she should loosen up.
Yeah.
But maybe it isn't telling her that. Maybe it's telling her she.
Whatever.
Yeah, maybe it's telling her she should tighten up. I don't know.
But it's, she said, "Oh, I'm not comfortable with chaos." I said, "Oh, you're not comfortable with chaos? Oh, I
Right.
was telling you something."
Right. So, but we're always, as Peterson says, we're always walking between chaos and too rigid. Okay, that's the way we live our lives. We live between chaos and rigidity, and if we're too rigid, nothing's going to happen. Okay, and if we're too chaotic, we can't live. Right. And so the beauty, anyone's psyche, okay, you have to have a little craziness in your life,